Alright, so this is the continuation of Alan Wake. I'm gonna try to see if I can finish this today. Finish the story today. So, yeah, yesterday I was real pissed off in regards to this game. I'm still kind of pissed off about it. I'm thinking about they screwed up on so many things that has nothing to do with the story or characters or environment or design of their world and the creativity of the world. Like most things with regards to their mechanics, most of their UI stuff or UX stuff, depending on how and where, is either average at best or some of it is bad, and even some decisions with regards to creative executions of certain story elements and puzzles um, aren't 100% there. I would say 50% there. So I don't know. I don't think this will be a game that I would, um, unlike Control, um, unless the next Alan Wake they deal with the issues of their mechanics and um, their glitches and the decisions with regards to storyline and story beats and the fact that when you do the investigation stuff, you can't really make the decision for yourself. It's you have to do something in a specific way, put things in a specific way, and then the game organize it for you on the wall. Those things really irk me, and I think the reason why I was so pissed yesterday is because it's the culmination of many decisions. The decisions when you're like when you quick turn, you would have to use mostly your index finger, but when you try to use your thumb, it doesn't work. You would have to jerk your controller backwards and then do this. And then when you run without the flashlight, it's like you're slowing down, which doesn't make sense. And there are many other factors as well. You know, many other things that you could find that you might not think that's there or matter. Like there's no buttons for certain things that the game should have buttons for. You have quick slots, but those quick slots are for, I guess, things that are in the game, but things that are part of the tutorial. The tutorial should actually be in the game. For instance, like melee, the game says it has melee, and that's what it's telling me. Like use R2 to melee attack with the flashlight. Like is I was saying before, the game doesn't have melee, but apparently the game does have melee, but the melee only works after the enemy attacks you. So it's not really a melee. It the melee only exists in combat, and even in combat, it really doesn't exist. It only exists upon um, a counter. So it's not really like a melee. It's more like a counter attack. Otherwise, use R2 to melee attack with flashlight. The melee attack is desperate one-off attack, which deals minor damage to an enemy and can temporarily stun them. So there is melee in the game, but it's see what I mean. It's done so stupid. Like normally in every other game or any game, they would tell you the melee is part of your controller. Like it would be on your controls. You wouldn't have to find it. And if you go into combat and combat tutorial, I mean, when I first started the game, melee wasn't in the tutorial. Melee should be one of the first things that you introduce. It just comes in later in the game. Like weapon upgrade, word of power, you know? I mean, quick turn, grapple. It's, I mean, it's, see, I'm pressing here, but I'm not going to use this. I'm probably use this. So I'm pressing here. And when the enemy attacks, you press the R2. But the R2 is for shooting. See what I'm saying? With the flashlight enable, it says with the flashlight on or enable, you press the R2. So, okay. So apparently melee is in the game. And I was saying to myself, well, melee isn't in the game the whole time because I've been looking at it from the controller point of view, and there's no melee button in here. And I'm saying to myself, well, why the fuck didn't they just put melee button in here? Why put it in tutorial and tell people, okay, melee's in the tutorial? Why not just put it in here? The thing is about this game is like there's so many stupid decisions are made. Like from my point of view, that I don't remember certain things and I have to search for those things. But it's not that I don't know and I don't understand, like when it comes to puzzles and why certain things happen in the game, or I'm not reading something. It's just the way that they're organized their game. Like how, like when you're putting pictures on the wall, it tells you investigations. I'm pretty sure there's a way they describe how to do that as well, but it's just done poorly. Just like here, it has gameplay sensitivity and all this. Rollovers, quick turn is on. It has this description for all these things, autocomplete QTEs, and you can put in autocomplete. I'm like, sure, I'm gonna put that on. Quick turn alternative controls, healing items, and tap. Light shifts with tap. Player invulnerability. So I'm gonna give it 1 point back for the melee. Melee is in the game, so 7.1. These other things are one-shot kills. Like, why would I put on one-shot kills? For, like, wouldn't that make the game easy? And why put it on hard mode or nightmare mode if you have the options to put on one-shot kill? Allows the player to kill enemies with one shot from pistol rifles. Does not work against certain enemies. So, what's the point of the hard mode or the nightmare mode if you're going to give players the options to do this in any mode? Of course, this doesn't work on bosses, but the difficulty of the game will go significantly down if the only people the one shot doesn't work on is bosses. So you're basically breezing through the entire game until you get to a boss. That's not a good thing. Why put that in the game? Autocomplete QTEs? Like, who is this made for? I understand it's called gameplay assist. If you want assist, it's going to give it to you. But these aren't assists. These are more like skip the difficulty. That's not an assist. That's more like I want to skip certain difficulty. One shot kills means skipping difficulty. You're not assisting the players. Assisting would be, I will help you out in regards to killing the enemy, but I won't straight up kill the enemy with one shot and be like, who made these decisions? So, other than melee, I'm back up to 7.1. So, there's so many bad decisions that are made in this game, and from their standpoints, they see it as good decisions, but they're not. Gameplay assist is an assist, is not I'll hold your hand for you. That's not what assist is. You're supposed to assist the person and then allow them to do it themselves. Giving someone a one shot kill for an average enemy is not an assist. You just did it for them. They just shoot one time, the enemy's dead. That's basically assist is like baby mode. So why offer this in hard and difficulty mode? Because maybe players just want the experience. Then if they just want the experience, then why put those options in hard and nightmare mode if they just want the experience? So they just want the experience of fighting the bosses in hard and nightmare mode. It's kind of weird and stupid. They don't need it. So those things doesn't don't really need to be offered there. So that said, I believe I'm re-looking at everything that I might have missed, and I'm considering other factors as well. Like the game assist, sure. This is all helpful when you just want to play and just enjoy the experience of the game. Infinite flashlight batteries. This is just for people who just want an experience. That's all this is for. Those who just want the experience. And that's fine. So, you got to give a point to the game for this. So now I'm at 7.2 regards to the game. I'm going to give a point to the game for this. Maybe 2 points towards the game for this because that's very helpful towards non game players. So 7.3. But then I also think of this as also an Achilles. That's something that people, especially those who've never played video games, will abuse and use as a clutch. And it's like, who cares what they do? It's their product. They bought it. They could do whatever. But isn't it kind of defeating the purpose of the modes in the game, the difficulties in the game, hard, nightmare, if people are just going to turn these on those modes? It doesn't make sense. I understand this will be logical for someone who's a first time player and you could put it on normal, but the decision to pick hard and nightmare is to give a player a more aggressive experience with regards to combat and the world around them with relations to combat. So how is it aggressive if you're just auto completing anything or just one shot? It's not still on normal mode. So I believe that these things should have not been a factor of nightmare or hard mode. So there are many decisions in this game that don't make sense. Like melee should actually be here, but it's not. And quick turn should actually be here. A button for quick turn should be also here, but it's not, to make it much easier. And just like they have sprint and dodge, and but they're not. There's no button for quick turns and there's no button for melee. So at least I haven't found it. So it's hard for me to give this game good points because every time I give it good points, like I got it up to 7.3 just now, I quickly realize that it also has equally bad things as well. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could find something bad here within the graphics and performance. Like for instance, I took off motion blur, film grain, and distortion, but the moment I put the game back on, the game voluntarily turns these things back on again. Another issue with regards to their UI, like once you get to a certain point in the story, for some reason, the game automatically forgets that you saved without having these on and decide to put them on without your consent. Like, it doesn't make sense. So I have to take it off again. So I'm going to put on quality and I'm going to put in performance and then I'm going to take them off both. And maybe it'll stay this way this time. And I'm going to put music, keep the music at 100. I'm going to keep sound effects at 75%, and maybe it'll stay at 75. Subtitles are on. Size is normal. Uh, so yeah, that's my issue I've been having with this game. Like, the devils are actually in the details. I haven't even gotten to photo mode yet, and to look up all the things of photo mode, but I gave it a point for having photo mode. But I believe if I checked everything in photo mode with regards to camera, with regards to effects, with regards to lighting, with regards to frame, I mean, they have frame in here, so that's a plus. Most games, when they have photo mode, they just have camera, effects, and lighting. So it has just additional one more thing. So I should give it, I'm going to give it another point for photo mode for having extra content or more details with regards to crop size and with regards to various different type of crop sizes. And that's it. Like Horizon Forbidden West, their photo mode is a bit better, but you know, not every game has a good photo mode. So this has a good one. So I'll give it another point for photo mode. So now back up to a 7.3. So small investments, interactive. Let's press the buttons. The buttons, they work pretty fast. Grid on, grid off. Those work pretty fast to get the proper frame with regards to where characters are standing. Alignments to the center. Straight up golden ratio with regards to everything. Intensity, color, brightness, saturation, radial blur, fogginess. Yeah, so it put a bit more investment into its photo mode than other games, so that's why I'm giving an extra point for it. So right now I'm at a 7.3. There's also the factor of difficulty settings. You could go down, but you can't go up. So that's kind of a good thing. Um, it would have screwed it would have screwed up if you could just select any difficulty. So if I decide to pick normal mode, would I be able to go back to hard mode? So let's try and see what will happen. Will it tell me something or would it just take me to normal mode? That I'll actually reduce a point for it if it just takes me to normal mode without giving me a warning. Okay, so I can't pick it. Once you select the difficulty mode, it stays that way. So that's good. So I'll give it a point for that as well. And not, um, yeah, and not reduce a point. So it stays true to the choices that you've made. Like if you, but at the same time, like I say, I can't really give it a point for it because it doesn't give you the options to lower the difficulty. Let's say someone's struggling with regards to the game and they really don't want to play on that mode anymore because it's too hard. They now don't have the options to lower the difficulty. Or maybe that's what the line bar at the side means. The line bar at the side means it's selected. So that's what it is. Alright, so you can go down, but you can't go up. So I'm giving it a point. I thought that you might have to press it and then give you a warning, but it just pops up a line bar at the side. Okay, so 7.4. So yesterday I dropped it 4 points, but managed to get up to about it getting its 4 points back. Very interesting. So it's hard for me to hate this game. They make a lot of good decisions with regards to the UI, but they also make a lot of bad decisions as well. Like some of the information with regards to the puzzles, like the whole the whole half moon full moon nonsense, which had nothing to do with the puzzles. It's just something they threw in there, kind of like a blind or something that they assume that you wouldn't be paying attention to, but its execution was done poorly because in the Mind Palace it was emphasized that it was something important, and you could say that it wasn't emphasized that it was important. You just thought that it was important, you know. But it specifically says here some dates are circled calendar about phases in the moon. So dates highlight things, specific words, dates, circle, phases of the moon. So those are very specific words. Dates are specific on a calendar that are circle. Phases of moon is specific. So dates are a common password. Might be something here. So it says dates as in certain dates, as in plural, that is singular. So these are things that you should look towards. But as we could tell, or should I say, as I did the password, I found out that dates aren't relevant. A day was relevant. That's all. Not certain dates. Just one day, the 17th. Everything else was a non-date thing. Unless you considered, well, certain dates. I guess you can consider a month and a year part of dates. You know, like Tuesday the 14th, 2023 is a date within um, a year. But that would be a date within a year. So let's say the month and the day was factor, but the year isn't a factor of the date. Well, it is too, because if I was to investigate something from 10 years ago, date August 17th, 2023, the year will also be a factor of the date. So it's very difficult for me to, like, when I do puzzles and stuff, I usually go according to things logically. Like in the game, a date is usually month, day, and year, but the the password was, you know, day, month, and year. So they weren't even organized properly. So even from that sense, that's something as well. And then there was a factor of multiple things circled and the whole half moon thing. So it was really an annoyance because not only, even if I did figure out the puzzle, it was still not organized according to dates. Dates are months, day, year when you write it down. But that wasn't the password. The password was jumbled around, where the day was before the month and the month was in the center and the year was at the end. Now, in certain countries, that's how they write their dates: month, day, year, or day, month, year in order. So whoever designed this game, whoever made this game, either came from a country that follows a different type of chart than North American, or they're following a type of military um, logging numerical system. So how would anyone knows that? I mean, how would anyone know that military numerical system if they've never been in the military before? And I'm assuming this. And also, how would anyone know that it would be the day, the month, and the year in that sequence if they spend their entire life doing month, day, year? And they weren't raised in a country where the day comes first, then the month, and then the year. So logically, no one would be thinking like that. So this is what I'm saying. When you make a game and you're making people play the game, there are certain things that need to be explained because someone in bumfuck somewhere nowhere in another country, their idea of a calendar is not the same idea of someone else's calendar in another country. So I always say this, like when you do anything in the game or anywhere, you have to know what the hell you're doing and you have to know your audience. Like there's no melee in the game because if you press the button, like who would know that you're supposed to turn on your flashlight and then go melee? But then again, melee wasn't a factor before. I remember pressing I remember pressing the R2 when I first started the game, and she didn't do this at all. She didn't do this at all at the beginning of the game. So melee only became a factor in the game. Melee only became a factor in combat when you got to a certain point in the game. Only when you got to a certain point in the game. Because the whole time, if I go back to my first two videos, and if I was pressing the R2 button, I would say, wait a minute, that's weird. How come there's no melee? How come I'm not picking up any weapons and I'm not meleeing? I'm pretty sure many times I've pressed the R2 button, either by accident in combat or intentionally without aiming my flashlight or with aiming my flashlight, and no melee happened. See, aiming with flashlight just make you fire down sights, but I'm pretty sure at certain point when I'm running or anywhere, I might have accidentally pressed the R2 button. But she never did any type of melee whatsoever at all. So the melee wasn't something that was there in the beginning of the game from the beginning. Otherwise, I find it very strange that I didn't realize that there was a melee in the game from the start all the way to the halfway point. I find that very weird. Otherwise, I wouldn't know that from the jump. And I realized that's not a me thing. That's just how they designed the game thing. Melee should be part of the default setup for a character's combat mechanics. And it should be part of the tutorial as well. And if you don't have a tutorial, it should be part of the character's base mechanics anyway. So why not have that part of the character's base mechanics? Why is it something that's part of the tutorial process and not within the assets with regards to its quick slot or within its foundations? It doesn't make sense. You have many buttons. See, you have many buttons here. Wait. You have many buttons here with regards to your controls at the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 quick slot buttons. So why isn't melee included in this logic? Why is flashlight, reload, shoot, aim, interactor? Why are these considered actions, but quick turn is not factored in here? There are many things good about this game, but there are many things that are bad. That's why it's hard for me to give the game lots of points and say it's a great game when there are so many things that are done poorly. So I'm at a 7.4 now. I'm gonna stop talking and just continue, but I think it's very important that I said these things so you understand before you even purchase this game what you're getting into. You might make the same mistake as I do. You might realize where the fuck is the melee at the beginning of the game, because logically they're supposed to have it and you wouldn't know. You might double tap on the back for the quick time after seeing the tutorial, and you'll say to yourself, why isn't it working? All these things are important, and they're part of what makes or breaks a game, including dumbass passwords that has nothing to do with phases of moves. All these things are important, all of them. You know, and now that I think about it, now I'm stopping in my own tracks. I'm thinking about it. Why did the fuck did they not put the melee part of the foundation of a character's combat capabilities? And why did they not do that from the very beginning? And why make it something that's kind of difficult to understand? Or if it's not difficult to understand, why do I get this strange feeling that they just threw the melee in there at a certain point in the game rather than at the very beginning? And if it was at the very beginning, why is it so complicated to do something that should be so simple? Because I don't believe it was at the beginning of the game, because I would have either accidentally pressed the melee button like this and it would have happened. There's so many things in this game that pisses me off, but at the same time there's so many things that are also good as well.
Tor? There's an overlap here. Did Cynthia pull Tor in? What was that? Where did Tor go?
What on earth do you mean, Saga? Tor is resting in the wellness center. Remember?
What? We both saw him go into the pond.
Okay.
Are you fucking with me? Or is this a story again?
Now. Let's cool it with the language.
She's clearly lying to me. Why? Rose watched Tor go into the pond. Why is she lying to me?
The secret mission for Alan's #1 fan. The hero will say Wake has returned. We're all characters in his story. Gee whiz.
I'm not his fucking character. But I can use that phrase to make Rose stop lying to me. Wake has returned. Cynthia took Tor. What happened to her?
When the darkness touches your head, your bookshelf gets shuffled. I put her lamp in the shoebox. What do you call a lamp lady without her lamp?
Is Rose talking about Cynthia or herself? Or both? Rose. Wake has returned.
Oh my God. You're the hero! You're here to save Alan! I feel so silly for trying to keep you out of the wellness center. I locked Tor and Gale in there after they lost it, and I didn't want you getting hurt. Before I forget, here's the page Wake told me to give you. Oh, and you'll need my keys to get around.
Saga jabbed the selector on the jukebox, the missing record in its place. Saga couldn't have found it without Odin's help. A light bloomed in through the garden window.
The horror story beat me to Tor. I have to rescue him. The key to this overlap is an old Gods of Asgard record. Odin will know more. The page mentions a missing record. Do you know where it is, Odin?
Driven by passion, raging like a storm. Your grandfather made the song to apologize. To your mother, Freya, and to you. Tor's like a storm. Your mother did the right thing, leaving with you, even if it broke your grandfather's heart. And mine. Listen to the song, Saga. It's all there. Tor only had one record made. He keeps it in the museum.
Odin knows my mom's name. He's saying my mom took me away when I was still a baby. Plausible. Stay on task. The record is in the museum. What happened to Tor just now?
Cynthia took him. Ugh, I knew someone was messing with Tor's head. There's something wrong with the water here. Pipes acting up, black stuff coming out. Cynthia's probably behind that too.
Does Cynthia have any connection to the Cult of the Tree?
Oh no, she's way too frail for that. But she used to be this town's best defense against the forces of darkness. Well, after Alan. But I guess it finally got her.
Wake is in custody. How have you been in contact with him?
He leaves me messages in funny places, like the newspaper, books. Once he even wrote to me with a cloud. If it's something really important, he tells me in a dream.
Okay. And what does he say to you with these clouds?
Ways I can help him, how I can stay safe, good dinner recipes, ways to kill Taken, lots of stuff. I've been finding some pages of writing lately too, so he must be working on a new book. Exciting.
Wake tells you how to kill Taken?
Oh, sure. You're the hero, so you must know all about it. All you need is a strong light, and then your conventional methods of extreme violence. Simple stuff. The tough part is hiding the bodies.
I honestly don't know how to react to this.
Just doing my part, sister.
You need to get the residents out of here. It's not safe.
Oh, this kind of stuff rolls right off their backs. They've lived very rich lives. Very resilient. But I already told everyone to wait at the designated muster point on the front porch. We run drills every few months. I'm so proud of them.
I'm impressed by how prepared you are.
We're pretty used to this kind of thing.
This
Anything
line...
else I can do to help the hero?
No, you lying bitch. These people in this town have been lying their ass off from the moment I got here. Every single one of them know about Taken. About Alan. About this other world. And they've all
You're
been
welcome,
pretending
Alan.
from the goddamn very beginning.
I need bolt cutters.
I still just can't believe it. I just still can't believe it. The game voluntarily gives you things as you're proceeding throughout the story. I'm like, who thought this was a good idea? Like, melee should be something that's part of the base mechanics. That's something to proceed as you go through the story. So apparently, yeah, I won't keep saying it. Melee is in the game, but it just didn't pop up from the very beginning, which it should have. So it's very hard for me to say this is a great game when they make so many dumb decisions. And see, this is another thing. The the objective clearly says check the nursing home museum for the records. She gave me a key to check the nursing home museum. The only museum it says here is the Old Gods of Asgard Museum on the map. First floor doesn't say there's a museum. Second floor, nor third floor. And when I went to the door, I couldn't access it. So clearly it's not that key. Unless we have another bug situation. And it is that key. Yep, was a bug. Went there, swiped the card, did not open. Oh, my bad. I was not facing directly in front of the scanner. I was facing the door, even though the QuickTime, or should I say the UI options menu popped up with said key card. Like, it's very hard for me to respect this game. UI mechanics. Very hard. So many dumb things.
Anger's remorse. This is the one. But it's gone. Cynthia has the record. She will tell me where to find it. That's not right. Hmm. Hmm.
So this place, Bright Falls, is very weird because all these people know about cults. Every old people, young people, they all know about the cult of the tree, and they all know about the Taken, but they're not all on board with trying to take down the Taken. Well, the old people I understand because they're frail and very young, like kids, can't. But Rose can join the cult, but she doesn't join the cult, and other younger people as well don't join the cult. So, but they all know that the Taken will take over the world. So, you have people who are voluntarily joining, and you have those who are just chilling and dealing with the Taken on their own way. So, this place is basically a community of vigilantes, because they're all vigilantes at the end of the day. They're doing things violently, as she states. Use flashlight to stop the Taken and then kill them. But she also knows that the people who have been taken were once residents of the community. So she's willing to kill people rather than find a way to remove the corruption from them. So these people are vigilantes because they're willing to murder people, normal people who have been corrupted by it, because they assume that the corruption is incurable, like they got zombified or something. So apparently, when you're taken, there's no cure, there's no going back. So the only way to deal with them is to kill them. But we know that's not the case because Alan's been taken over by darkness before, as well as other people, and they managed to come back. So these people are basically unstable individuals in this place. All of them are, both the good and the bad. And that's another thing too. How are these people a legendary rock band if Thor only made like one album? Maybe the band made many albums, but Thor only made one. I guess the band is legendary, O Gods of Asgard, but Thor, when he probably tried to went solo, is not really legendary. As a group they are, but individual not.
Do you know anything about the Cult of the Tree?
Yes, yes. He who reaches for a spruce tree will stumble into a juniper. Bloom was one of them. He has kicked empty. I wouldn't want to be in his shoes. But I like his shoes.
I found an empty record sleeve. Do you know where the record inside went?
Oh, the matter is not my business. Mutta niin, sanotaanko vaikka, että but she who steals a needle steals a nail. Wonders of the modern world. Music captured on vinyl, on tape. What will they come up with next? Tähän ne vielä keksi. I'm a man of the old union.
How did you know Blum was part of the cult?
Oh, Fox never runs out of tricks. He's a crazy man, and he will show his ways. Blum like to talk. There are pieces of George on the floor everywhere. The black stuff. Sedating. Very bad. I need to clean it all away. Perkelekko sotketaan joka paikka. Kuulkaapa nyt, mitäs te? Mikä paikka tämä on? Helvetti soiko. Meidän vai? Tämä ei ole minun koti. This is not my home.
Maybe my PlayStation is getting old, because it worked on this door quite easily, the key card, but it didn't work on the other one before. Or maybe I was just standing at a different angle. I don't know. I just don't know.
Damn lights. Key fob's no good without power.
No use crying in the dark place. What has been has gone. But trouble doesn't look like this. You can go to the basement and check the generator. But look out. You can never know in which tree the devil sits.
The basement. Thanks. I need something to cut this.
Okay. Okay, so once again, here's my problem. I should have had the bolt cutters by now, but I don't have the bolt cutters. Now, if the whole thing of getting into the basement is required of you having said bolt cutters, where in the living fuck is said bolt cutters? From since the beginning of the game up until now, where is it? Why hasn't the story, if this is part of a story item, has the game not highlighted this? And if it's not part of a story game, and I'm pretty sure I've been farming ridiculously, why have I not run into this bolt cutters as of yet? It's very, very difficult for me to like this game, mechanically wise. Like, who in the living fuck would give you like several maps and yet no bolt cutters yet? And I swear to God, if the only way to get into that basement is with said bolt cutters, I'm going to lose my shit. Because I've been looking for it since the beginning of the game, and I have yet to find it. Maybe there's another way to get into the basement that I don't know about. As it says here, basement. Basement. How do you access the basement? By going here. How do you get here? You exit out this door. Locked door. What locked door? I'm facing said locked door. This door. I'm walking literally here. The door is not locked anymore. So unless I'm losing my mind and I'm magically, this door is magically saying it's locked when I'm clearly walking through an unlocked door. And am I on another planet here? Shouldn't this be marked unlocked and not locked anymore? Maybe it's an Alan Wake situation. But what the fuck? What is this? Okay, but shouldn't this also says this goes towards the basement? You know, like logically a person would run out here and run here. But shouldn't this also say this leads to the basement? It's very difficult for me to like this game. So many stupid things are done.
Shit. I need to get the power back on. Key fob's no good without power.
Here's another issue. Like, when you're fighting combat, you aim down sights and you shoot, right? And then you let go. So the same button for the melee is the same button that you would aim and shoot. But the only way to not make a mistake and waste bullets is to let go of the L2 and then do the melee. Your shoot button shouldn't be the same as your melee button, but they are. Like, why do that? Like, Jesus Christ, man.
power's off. Thomas Zane looked just like Wake. Is this why Odin keeps calling him Tom?
Oh yeah, I remember people saying that before. That Alan Wake is not real and Thomas Zane is the real person, and Wake is just was created by the darkness and brought into reality from Zane. Like, if that's true, then that's some really meta shit. So from very beginning of Alan Wake 1, when he drove to Bright Falls, he never existed to begin with. Who knows? I don't know about any of that. That would have to be explained in Alan Wake 3. I doubt that that's the case, but because if it is, then that's a long build up just to reveal something that shouldn't take that long to reveal.
Cynthia Weaver had always kept her lantern close. Someone in the bathroom with her. In the dark. Dark water pressed itself into her. She screamed.
Also very stupid. That's not how flares work. No flare goes and dies off that quickly, whether it's fiction or reality. Flare lasts for a fucking long time before they die out. They're not like chem lights, but they don't last for about 30 seconds. That's for damn sure. They last for about a full 3 minutes before they go out, or more. Hell, even the cheapest one lasts for about a minute. I'm not gonna dock a points from the game for that. I just think I'm not gonna give the game any more points for things that they're bad at. Code is 273. Okay.
A fuse. Could come in handy. key fob's no good without power. There. Power's back on. Shit. Careful, Saga. Anger's remorse is missing. Who took it?
Our shame becomes the pale horse. Oh, Tor. Bro. Tor's love for you is in that song. That's why Cynthia wants it, to ruin him. She made Tor lust after her. We fought one scratching hag years ago. Now he's fallen for another, and we might lose him for good. One less Anderson.
That isn't going to happen. Cynthia has Tor in the overlap. Anger's remorse is the key to get there. I need to make Cynthia reveal its location.
And here's another thing about the game. This doesn't seem to be part of the story. This seems to be like a side quest that's part of the story. Like it's very hard for me to like certain things in the game when it feels like they're just asinine activities that I'm supposed to be doing, but it doesn't feel like it's part. Like, who cares who Cynthia is? Is it part of stopping Scratch? Is it part of stopping the black ooze or the darkness in the lake? Is it part of the FBC trying to stop the AWE? Is it part of Saga, reuniting with her family, Thor and Anderson, or piecing together her past? Cynthia's not part of her past. Cynthia is just someone that they're associated with. So this feels like a side activity, or like, do I really need to do this? There's certain things that just don't feel like it makes sense. Unless Cynthia's relevant to the story.
Cynthia targeted Tor specifically. Why him?
Deal with the nasty Anderson fellow. His heart was broken. Cancelled. leaks started appearing, it was too late. Shut her out of her own case.
The Dark Presence is using Cynthia to keep me from talking to Tor. Where is Angus Remorse now?
He is a young girl in love. A rock and roll cliche. The shadows to come alive. A gift. An on-off death wish.
She has the record. I can get it out of her.
Okay, so that's her relevance towards the story. She's not relevant at all. The Dark Presence, Scratch is just trying to delay Saga. So this feels like a
Where
fetch
is it,
quest.
Cynthia?
Drowned beneath dark water. Too many hands. The bathroom frightened her. Cut short. She screamed. An old folks' care home.
The Angus Remorse record is in Cynthia's room. In her bathtub.
Cynthia Weaver hated being old. She'd been a doer, a fighter. Now the bathroom frightened her, afraid she'd break her hip, like Norman. Cynthia had always kept her lantern close, to hold the darkness at bay. "Oh dear, my lantern. I think I've lost it," Cynthia said. "This will put a smile back on your face, my dear," a voice said. A man's voice. Someone in the bathroom with her. In the dark. The light bulb had blown. She meant to replace it days ago. How could she forget? She had slipped getting out of the tub. She lay in the tub now. She lifted her hand. It looked wrong. Too many hands. In a black void with no sense of up or down, she was underwater. A dark shape pushed her down. Dark water pressed itself into her. She screamed. It came out in bubbles. Emmett Elwood had had enough. All his life he'd been surrounded by the same small-minded, impolite, ignorant...
Usual bluff. Cover all. Here for whispers. It was too late. She was underwater. The nightmares were starting to creep in.
Sheesh, didn't see you there. The Dark Presence uses people's memories, their fears to corrupt them. I feel like I'm missing some context here.
You're not missing anything, Cynthia Weaver. Thomas Zane was here in Bright Falls. He visited this place when he was younger. You scratch out whoever this person was that Thomas was into, assuming that's his wife, and put yourself in her place.
A lantern. Was Cynthia using it for protection? Did she know about the dark presence? A power station. Everyone needs a hobby, I guess. I'm guessing the woman in this photograph was not Cynthia's favorite.
It's very strange. Cynthia and Rose behaving the same way over people that they're into. He's a movie maker or poet or something like that. She was into him, and Rose is doing the same thing. Rose never liked Alan's wife. Very strange. More and more it's starting to seem that Alan is not real. Maybe he never was. Or maybe Zane was never real, and the story just duplicated Alan's life and created Zane.
Tor disappeared into the pond. It's another overlap. Has to be. How do I get inside? That's not right.
You see what I keep saying? Like, you don't have a choice to put things the way you want to put them. You have to do things the way the game says. Put it here, and then I'll organize it for you voluntarily. Like, it takes away from the idea of you being in control of the game.
The page says the record will open the overlap. Or is the page predetermining it? Am I just playing into the story? Okay. okay. A bathtub, a pond, a lake. There's a theme here.
It's strange how Saga hasn't caught on to this yet. Like, the damn thing, the darkness, use things that are important to you to, to give power to them. And power on those things give you what you want or takes away what you want. So it would give things into reality based on the power of said thing. I don't real. Maybe she's not as good as a detective as she is, or maybe it's just part of the game. But she does have powers based on her bloodline, which is unassociated towards this place. At least that's something that's obvious now.
Cynthia was close to someone named Thomas Zane. Who is he?
Tom was back. Tom had enemies. In a fancy hotel. Just his imagination. The nightmare started to creep in. Cynthia Weaver smiled.
An old flame. Maybe Tom was taken.
Or maybe Cynthia Weaver can't distinguish the difference between Alan Wake and Thomas Zane anymore. Because they look the same. So she thinks he's back.
A dam? Was Cynthia into civil engineering? Anger's Remorse by Old Gods of Asgard. I need to play it in the jukebox.
Wait, there's something else in here?
Cynthia would deal with the nasty Anderson fellow, Tor, always poking people with his hammer. He had it coming.
Tor's a romantic, huh? The song will show me the way.
Look in the mirror, the cobweb of my
Yippee-ki-yay, gotta talk. More talking needs to happen because someone is singing. Talk. Should have put in copyright streaming music on a game that has many music playing. What the fuck is going on in this world? How can people be this dumb? This is how you know games aren't really made for people who are into games, because people who are mostly into games are mostly people who stream. Or the average gamer who does things silently. So they basically make games for average people, and they don't give a fuck about people who streams games, which is very dumb, since streamers are the ones that basically critique games or make knowledge of certain games, indie or popular games, become known. Otherwise, how would you know certain games exist? Like, you really, I don't know. And this, it's not like this game doesn't know about streamers. This game was made like 2020 and then distributed in 2023 or something like that.
This isn't real! Fuck this place. No power. Can't use the switch. I need to get the power on to use the switch.
She like cats.
Okay, so what the fuck was that shit? I thought the whole melee thing works like this. When you're not aiming. I wasn't aiming. I wasn't aiming. I was directly going for a melee. I swear to God. So apparently there seems to be an interruption for when you aim down sights and then you let go. So if I aim down sights and I go straight for the melee fast, or maybe when I reload and I go straight for the melee, she shoots anyway, because that's what I was trying to do. I was going to go for the dodge and then do this, but then I went for the dodge and she shot him. Oh my God.
The wall just disappeared. The light did that?
Closer. Destroy. The only way.
It's a loop, like the others. I need to reach the center. Cynthia. She's here.
It was too late.
A dead end.
Really? Really past the halfway point in the game? That's when I get the bolt cutters? And there's no map to show me where anything is in this place. So I can't even tell where I am. I know I'm underground, but oh well.
Cynthia took the record, and I brought it back.
I'm not going to do that melee stuff again. Maybe I'll try it again on the next boss or the next area. But here's another thing. Are these actually bosses? I've been fighting enemies at the beginning of the game. About the only person that seemed to have been somewhat of a boss was Thornton and Mulligan. And I have the game on hard mode, so dying once or twice to these enemies, dude, like, how is this boss? Let me check something. No, I have it on hard. It's on hard. How is this enemy hard? Because I have propane tanks? But I didn't even use a propane tank. I just use What was it that I used? I threw something on the ground. It wasn't a grenade. Yeah, it probably was a propane tank. I threw one on the ground, and I shot it, and they fall. So the propane tank is like maybe like a grenade. Alright, so good to know. I'm gonna save up all my propane tanks and my flares towards the end. It might mean I might die a lot more, but yeah, that's fine by me. Make the final boss fight easier, or boss. That because the boss is always a bitch. He's probably gonna summon other people with him. So I might need more propane tanks and flares for him. Like based on non Dark Souls game or games like that just makes you solo bosses. Like many games, most games, even good ones, even great ones, usually have the boss summoning other enemies once his health get below the halfway point. Unless we're talking about Dark Souls itself, where they just go into phases and they just become harder, which is fine. I guess their phase of in other games, phase of second phase, third phase is typically summoning enemies, so it's fine. So my problem with the game is in that at this very point in the game, past the halfway point, I can now use the bolt cutters. So if here's the thing, if this game doesn't allow me to go back to every single map location where doors were closed due to the story, like if I run into an area where the story pops up and I now can't access that area with regards to the bolt cutters, then that's bad. So hopefully the game will allow me to go back to every area and use the bolt cutters before the final boss fight. Otherwise I would say this is not a good game at all, if that's the case. I don't think they're going to do that, but I'm just hoping they don't do that.
Writing a story.
So now I would have to, it's at this moment I really have to now dock a point from the game, just 1 point, because in my mind a boss is supposed to be stronger than that and supposed to feel like a boss. Those just feel like tank enemies, not bosses. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. From the non-gamer point of view, or for casual, that would be a boss, but from a gamer point of view, that's not good at all.
Back again. Gotta go deeper.
This will put a smack back on your waistline.
It was fun for a while, but can we stop now?
me, kiddo. The hag tricked me.
Tor, I'm here! I'm coming!
Dark water.
You took Tor. I'm here to take him back. I need to get the lights on to reach him.
Saga! It's so damn dark down here. I'm underwater. At the bottom. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Casey was gone.
I deserve this. Just leave me here.
Let me go.
I'm lost.
The brothers were too old to stop it. It was too late.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I was thinking before. That was too weak to be a boss fight. This is the real boss fight, yeah.
This is it for me.
Black liquid.
She got me good.
Cynthia Weaver smiled. He had it coming.
It's so dark.
There must be a way to get the power back on.
Sinking into darkness.
I gotta get out of the water.
A dark shape pushed her down.
Where are you?
It commanded Bubba. Kitty is a young girl in love. In shadows to come alive.
Still. Okay, so
The bad tree.
is there like a light or something in here?
I deserve this. Just leave me here.
Your daughter was taken. Saga gets led into a nightmare. She was underwater. This will put a smile back on your face, my dear.
Are there pipes or something? Is there like electrical cords? Let me see. I'm here, and I was pressing here.
Dark water pressed itself
Maybe I'm supposed to get over here. But to get over here is
down to their own peace. The darkness from the dead.
I heard this coming.
yeah, the interactivity with regards to getting up and climbing up on things and then going from walking to running seems to glitch out when you like get close towards jumping off and jumping onto things. Like it automatically slows down for even though you're pressing running. Like I'm pressing running and it's running now. Okay, so here Over here? Well, which way? Here or here?
Saga was trapped in a horror story. Cynthia Weaver smiled.
So it's not here.
Was gone.
You see what I mean? You see what I mean? She takes so long to get the fuck up. The enemy is already popping up next to her. This feels like one of the issues I had with Evil Within 2. Or many games seem to have this problem. That they could be in a heated situation, but they seem to take their time climbing up on things. And also, there's no climbing mechanics. You only climb when there are boss fights or situations. Okay, so it's not here. Then it must be over there. How would... Okay, so both of these are irrelevant. Both of these pathways are pointless. How about you getting off? Freaking animation with regards to jumping down and climbing up. They're trying to make things realistic, but the realistic part of doing things slows down the point of the combat situation. Okay, so there's nothing. It has to be this way. How about getting down? Turn at the exact angle bullshit to get down. Okay, so it has to be all the way over there.
Kitty is a young girl in love. Dark water pressed itself into her. The shadows her. Guess she was gone. The brothers were too old to stop it. A bad trip.
Wait, what the hell? Did I get something that's important towards turning it on?
The nightmares were starting to creep in.
Because there's no way I'm gonna go right back here if I didn't pick up anything of importance.
She pushed her down.
But there's nothing here. Oh, there is something.
Shut out of the location. She was underwater. It was too late. The darkness overwhelmed us.
I'm not leaving you here, Tor. Hold on!
This will put a smile back on your face, my dear. Sinking into darkness. She was alone.
It's cold. Dark. I can't see a goddamn thing. Tell Odin. I'm sorry I fucked everything up.
You can apologize to him yourself. I'm getting you the hell out of here.
Cold. Dark. I can't see a goddamn thing. Tell Odin. I'm sorry I fucked everything up.
You can apologize to him yourself. I'm getting you the hell out of here.
Yeah, no more use of propane tanks or flares. So I might die a few more times.
I'm sorry I fucked everything up.
You can apologize to him yourself. I'm getting you the hell out of here.
This chick takes long to do anything. To drink pills and to do bandages. I understand the bandages part. But to take pills? Really? To just chug pills? Like, I need to do an animation for pulling the pills out, then popping the bottle,
To him yourself.
then swallowing the
I'm
pills,
getting you the hell out of here.
and then saying ah, and then picking up your weapon. So there are several things. She moves her hands up, then she swallows the damn pills, and then she goes back. There are three seconds progress to that just to do that one thing. Where is she?
Time was running out. Dark shape.
There. Now it works. What the fuck? So the melee works. The melee works. Why didn't they put that at the beginning of the game for the very first boss to begin with?
FBI. Saga Anderson. I'm closer now. I can feel it. You help me get closer to escaping.
Wake? Where are you? Is this coming from the dark place when you were still trapped? I have the clicker. We can finish this.
Without the clicker. You can help. I must find it.
I already have it. I can get it to you. But I have to understand. Did you write Logan into the story?
Lad's in danger. I need to get back. I'm writing a story. It's the only way.
Then change the story. If this is the past, if this is you still in the dark place, then you can do that, right? You cannot write her in. She's my daughter, goddammit! Logan is in the story. I can get him to change it. I have the clicker. I'll make him change it now. He had no right to do this to Logan. To my family.
So here's another thing that is very strange. At several points in the story, she spoke to Alan Wake by seeing him through reflections or whatever that is. 1, 2, 3 times actually, maybe in 4. And of those 4 times, twice did she talk about Logan. So this is the second time he's telling her about Logan, or she's telling him about Logan, and it's like he's not hearing certain things she's saying. The first time she said talk about Logan, and the second time she talks about Logan. So that's twice already. Now, if it happens again, and they meet up again within some type of reflection, and he can't hear this side of her story with regards to Logan again, I'm gonna dock a point from the game from that, because then that means that's the game, the people who made the game purposely making Alan Wake not hear her telling him about her family. Two's company, three's a crowd. There's no fucking way.
Hell.
Are you okay?
Hey, you took your sweet time to come save your grandpa, huh?
Nice attitude. A family trait?
You're right. Sorry. Thanks for helping out an old bastard like me.
That's my job. Now, I've got some questions for you.
Of course you do, sweetie pie. And I got answers.
Look at me.
Freaking music is everywhere in this goddamn game.
We need to talk.
Why isn't there streamer mode?
Damn right. Lots for me to explain. But not here. The night's got ears. We can have our talk in your head. You have a room there, right?
How do you know about that?
I'm your grandfather. What don't I know?
Okay, so he really reveals something very big. If he basically knows about the Mind Place, and the only way he can know about the Mind Place is that the Mind Place is something that I believe everyone might have, because Alan Wake is not related to her or to him. Alan Wake is a perfect stranger. And in the first game, he had a mind place as well, or palace, similar to hers, but they're not relatives. So this mind place might actually be a thing that people can access who are within Bright Falls. That it's not something that individual a person has, because if it is something an individual person has, then that means Thor has it as well. Otherwise, how would he know about her having it? Because if he knows about her having it, then he knows Alan has it too. And how would he know this? That's not something that you typically know. Unless this is a seer thing from her ancient bloodline. But Alan is not a seer. So it can't be that. So the mind place might be something that's not an individual thing. Otherwise, if it is, then I call bullshit, because Alan Wake have it, and Alan Wake is not a seer, and Alan Wake is not related to them. Maybe some more nonsense shenanigans from the people who made the game. I swear to God, man. Like, what the fuck were they even thinking? Like, as I'm getting slowly towards the end of the game, it seems that I'm starting to see the cracks within this so-called good story, or great story.
Nope. You said you were my grandfather. If that's true, why wasn't I told about you?
You were part of our fucked up family way before this horror story. I was a shitty fucking dad to Freya. Your mom didn't deserve that. Not one bit. Things were said and done. Not a day goes by I haven't regretted it. But that fucking father of yours didn't make things any easier. I know Freya is gone. So I need to apologize to you. I am sorry, Saga.
I can see he's sorry. Mom said she didn't want anything to do with my grandfather. And that my father died before I could remember. It all matches. Tor and Odin are part of my family.
So this guy basically was shitty to his own daughter because he was a rock star and he didn't pay attention and he didn't give her care. And when she became old enough, teenager or in her 20s, she gave him the bird and said, "Now I'm out." And he cursed the guy that she was with, who ended up being her father, for taking her away. So to this day, he treats him like shit because he took his daughter away, which makes sense. But at the same time, fuck Tor. That's what I think.
My mind place?
You made your daughter go away, you piece of shit.
We all have the power. Find the truth. Damn right I do. Odin already told you you're a seer. You can gaze into their heads, see the truth. See past the lies. Past this bullshit horror story. Us Andersons aren't bound by it. You can fight it. Don't be the story. Make the story.
It's true. I am a seer. I have a power. My mind place is more than I thought it was. This isn't my intuition. I'm seeing their thoughts. Is this why I know the truth about Logan? While everyone else forgot?
Alright, so this guy's a douchebag, but he was a douchebag when he was younger. So he's trying to make up for it when he's older. So he has two sides. One, the here and now, and two, the piece of shit when he was young. So, but you can't separate a man into two pieces. He's the same man. The body's the same, the mind is the same. So he's a piece of shit and he's a good person.
Mom wouldn't talk about my father. You knew him?
Some doors are better left closed. Your dad was a complicated bastard. Always thinking too many steps ahead. That's not how we work. There was trouble, and then he was gone. I didn't handle it well. Freya didn't want anything to do with me after that. I can't blame her.
I never knew my dad or my mom's family. So many broken relationships in my past. I won't lose mine. With Logan. With David. I won't stop until they're safe.
Okay, so that says nothing about the father. Whether he was an abusive person or a snake. It just says he was complicated and he thinks 2 or 3 steps ahead, which means he was obviously smarter than him and thought of ways to pull the daughter away from the father. So he was a cunning person, but that doesn't make him an evil person. He probably just realized the father wasn't a good person, and he used that cunning, which is a devious thing, to pull him away from the father. Maybe, I don't know. It could have been one of those cases where you don't know if the father's a good person or not, and he definitely wasn't. So, yeah, the father could have been a piece of shit, but from the point of view of the story, Thor is the piece of shit in the story.
You said you were a shitty father to my mom. Is that why she left?
Freya never looked back. My girl was strong. Freya always thought our powers had a dangerous side. Odin and me did fuck with things that should not have been fucked with. Your mom had common sense. She raised you right. Kept you safe. I'm not surprised she didn't tell you about the Anderson power.
She was always protecting me. Whenever I told my mom about my mind place, she called it make-believe. I wish she'd been more honest with me. At least towards the end.
Oh, really? And what about Alan? Alan's not related to you. Holy shit, something just popped into my head. I swear to God, if Alan Wake is her actual father, he did disappear 13 years ago. And she was still a kid like 13 years ago, but she was a baby when she took him away from the father. Zane? I mean, if Alan's not real, then Zane. It would have to be Thomas Zane. Holy shit, her father's probably out. The reason why Alan Wake can use like the Mind Palace or the Mind Place in the first game means he has the power. But The Anderson bloodline are seers, not an unrelated guy like her father. So how the hell does Alan Wake have something if he's not of their bloodline? Unless he's related to Saga and he's of their bloodline, he may not be their father, be her father, but he's of their bloodline. That makes more sense. But Thor and Odin never said anything about a second child or anything like that. If Saga and Wake are related, like, I'm trying to understand this fucking game. Why the fuck does Alan Wake have a mind place or palace in the first game, and in this game there's an explanation towards why she could do, she's a seeker, but then she also has a mind place similar to that of Alan Wake in the first game. This is her version of the mind place. I mean the mind palace. So is the seer just creating something that's similar to that of Alan Wake, but it's not the same? If it's not the same, then this is something completely new, and what Alan has is something completely different. But she did say this is her version of the mind palace, which means they're somewhat similar. There's some strange shit going on.
Can I use it to save my daughter?
An amp. Get your guitar roaring and your drums crashing. Blow reality's eardrums. Just the light switch isn't enough. It's Tom's story we're dealing with, so he's gotta be the one to rewrite it. After that's done, he can flick that switch to bring the whole thing home, baby.
I can't use the clicker without Wake. Tom. Meaning Wake. He needs to rewrite the story first. I can't stop the horror story without him.
Boy, that would be some shit. That would be some shit if she find out that how Alan Wake is her brother or something. And then at the end of the game, because she's trying to protect Logan, she kills Alan Wake. And then in like the third Alan Wake game, it's revealed that that was her brother that she's gonna KO or something. Or maybe she doesn't kill him. Maybe she doesn't kill Alan. Maybe they team up. But she has to kill Scratch, and if Scratch has inhabited Alan's body, then Alan is going to die. That's how taking works. When someone is taken, the body is inaccessible, and the darkness is the thing that's attacking you in the said body. There's no exorcism to take the darkness out of the person. They're fully submerged. Only way to release them is to kill them. So if Scratch takes over Wake and there's a boss battle between Saga and Wake, or between Alan versus Scratch versus Saga, someone's gonna die. That's the only way I could see it. If Alan happened to get Scratch out of his body, and Scratch, which is a dark presence, inhabits someone else, then Wake is fine. But if the darkness takes over Alan, then Saga has to take him out. But what would be the shit is if she finds out that they're related. This whole mind place, mind palace thing is just too coincidental to be unrelated.
think.
So this guy was a shitty father because he was in a band and he neglected his kid, but because he's also uses him and Odin use this power because they're Andersons, and abuse of this power, because he just said it, was dangerous. And the daughter knew that abuse of this power was dangerous and it could bring on things and make things go the wrong way. Maybe they abused their power in order to become famous. Maybe that's the main reason why he's a shitty father, because they abused their power in order to gain things that they wanted. And she thinks that was fucked up, which it is, which would still make him fuck up whether he beat his daughter or not.
The way Tor behaved, I'm surprised my mom hung around for as long as she did. But he is genuinely sorry.
Yeah, and then there's that factor too. He was a drunkard. So it wasn't just about him doing the job of a musician, them traveling on the road and stuff, but he was also a drunk, and he was also an angry drunk, and he was messing with powers. So he was an all around like a douchebag.
Tor and Odin can actually speak with me in my mind place, thanks to their own powers. Tor and Odin are my relatives. The evidence fits with what I know is true. It's a lot to process.
There's the thing about this game though. Is this game going to reveal where the said powers come from, or is it best to leave it to the ether? And assuming that she just has the bloodline of ancient, Norse people who believe in mysticism and had seekers and seers and oracles and wizards. Are they even going to state that in this game? Because you can't like really just throw in the word seers. I have this power of my bloodline without explaining somewhat where it came from. At least it's just there to be there. I don't know. Somehow, some way, in some possibility, I still think this is all bullshit. They see, all of a sudden she comes to this place and then she finds out she's a seer through Anderson bloodline. And this place can make things come real that doesn't exist. That'd be funny as hell if the AWE, the darkness in that water, is fucking with all of them. Everyone here at Bright Falls, including Andersons and Saga. Making them believe that they're special or something by separating their, by giving them special powers to think that they're seers and stuff. When all it's doing is just creating a different form of a story by making them have special powers. That'll be freaking awesome. And then at the end you realize there was nothing special about any of them. It was just the darkness fucking with them. But then that's weird because I don't think that's the case because Alan Wake has something almost similar, not the same though. So why do that to Alan Wake in the first game? It didn't explain what that was either in the first game. So I don't think that's the case.
Thanks for telling me this, Tor. I need to go find Wake. To stop this.
The old gods of Asgard will be ready to help. Me and my bro will bring the rock when you need it. Remember, your daughter is alive. Just kept from you by this bullshit horror story.
I needed to hear that. Thanks, Grandpa.
Don't.
Alright, so it's at this point in the game after defeating the old woman, the hag. I could now go and use said bolt cutters in Bright Falls, Caldera Lake, and Watering. As long as I have access to my car, I could travel there, so I think that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, the car is available. So all places that has a lock on it, I should be able to get into. It's so weird though. It's weird as shit. Why give someone a bolt cutters past the halfway point leading to the 75% marker? I'm literally at the 75% marker in the game. Way past the halfway point, actually. And I'm now getting the bolt cutters. That is stupid as hell. So, with regards to the story...
Wake at the sheriff's station. I need to make Agent Estevez understand. They have Wake and I have the clicker. We have to work together to stop this.
Oh, I completely forgot the FBC chick is
Casey.
here.
Do you read me, Casey? Damn it. Where are you, Casey? He better be okay. Focus, Saga. Get to the station. To Wake.
What the fuck? I broke open a lock just to get to the front of the building? Are you kidding me? I thought the whole point of the bolt cutters is to get to access certain places where they might have secrets. Not to, you know what? I'm at a 7.4 with regards to the game. I'll leave it at the 7.4. Another mistake like this, I'll just drop it down to 7.3. I do not see this game reaching at 8 at all. I do not see this game reaching at 8 at all. Now, I don't care what Metacritic or anyone or IMBD or anyone says. There are too many small little stupid things that don't make sense. Bolt cutters that lead to the front of the building when the whole time I'm looking for it and there's no secret whatsoever at all. It just leads to the front. I could have gone to the front. I don't need a bolt cutters that lead me to the front by opening the gate. And I could have run through the building to come to the back here. This is so stupid. Like, who the fuck did... You know what? It's okay. I need to use the restroom. 7.4. I'll drop it to 7.3 if another stupid thing like this happens. And I need bolt cutters to not get to something important. So I'll use the restroom. I'll come back to this. I think this is a perfect time to pause it, because after this I'm just going to go to every other site that have bolt cutter locations. So I think I might end it here and restart it again later on after I open all other sites that have bolt cutters. So I think that's the best choice, rather than spending my entire stream like unlocking things with the bolt cutters. Yeah, I think that's for the best. Because based on this, here, 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 and then go to Caldera Lake. What the hell? Why doesn't it want me to... Why can't I move to Caldera Lake to see Caldera Lake 1? I'm literally zooming into that. Okay. And Caldera Lake. So there's... Let's see. There are 2 in Bright Falls and... Looks like there's none in Caldera Lake. That doesn't seem to make sense. I remember there being one in here. Okay, maybe it wasn't Caldera Lake. Maybe it was Watery. Yeah, there's one in Watery. So the 2 in Bright Falls, 1 here. Yeah, another here, 2, 3. But that's a door. Requires a key. So 2 bolt cutters. Where's my vehicle? Where's the color? Okay, the car would be here. I'll run here. So there are two locks and 2 bolt cutters and 1 door to access. So that's Watery. I could swear that Caldera Lake had one. Maybe it was just an assumption. Maybe it was always Watery and... Yeah, I think it might have just been Watery and Bright Falls. Bright Falls had 2. One. One, 2. And actually the one I just opened, 3. So Bright Falls has 3. Watery probably has 3 as well. I'm missing it. So far that's 2. That's a locked door. Okay, so Bright Falls has Bright Falls has 3. I just unlocked one of them, and there are 2 others, and Watery has 2. And Caldera Lake has none, which is very strange. That Caldera Lake has none whatsoever at all. And why can't I get to this rental cabin? There's a cult stash here. I think that might be blocked off with regards to the game, or maybe I need the keys to get in here. Okay, so I'll stop the game. My objective will be to just farm those areas, and then once all doors are open, I'll continue on with the story. So far the game is at a 7.4. I dropped it 4 points with regards to that bullshit puzzle from the last stream, because that's a half-ass thing, and then I gave it back its points with regards to having melee and with regards to with regards to options, and which is game assist, not aim assist. Having these things to make your life easy, but those are for people who are casual. So, and it's basically you could just shoot an enemy one time or make your players invincible. So these are actually kind of cheats in the game. So for having that, and then I gave it 2 more points with regards to the story, because with regards to what's happening with Alan, with regards to what's happening with Saga, it's getting even more interesting. And I believe I might have finally giving it a point for what was it? It was for something else. Oh yeah, no, it wasn't for something else. It was, I got it up to 7.4 and then I left it there because then I started to see the bullshit nonsense happening again. And yeah, then I dropped it a point. So actually no, I dropped it a point with regards to something. I think it was the melee thing. Oh yeah, I dropped it a point for the melee thing because I shot off the arrow instead of doing the melee hit, but that could have just been a glitch. So I'm not going to drop it a point because the melee hit did work with the witch, though it didn't work with that other enemy. So it does work. So yeah, I'm still at 7.4. Thought it was like a interruption bug or something, but no, it was probably just me going too fast for the control to respond in time. So yeah, 7.4. I'm being quite fair to this game. Every time I find something that's bullshit, I should really just dock it a point for it. Like a door unlocked that leads to nowhere, I should dock it a point for that stupid shit. And for the bolt cutters showing up at the 75% marker, maybe even the 80% marker in the game, when it should not be that far into the game, I should dock it a point for that too. But I'm not going to, because the story is holding up so far. It's basically the story is carrying everything. If it wasn't for the story, I don't think this game would have even been in the sevens. Alright, so I'll stop it for right now.